everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my video for the Saturday stamping group, and this week's theme is Dear Santa. What I'm going to start with is what's on my nails. So I have a coat of my sweet and sour lacquer Smicky sauce. And then I have 3 coats of Glam polish, and this is, we know that it's probably magic. Thought this was a pretty color for a Christmas manicure. And then a coat of sweet and sour lacquer gloss sauce. I'm going to start with the Lantern and Wren plate, and I'm using this for the Dear Santa to write to him. So this is all the Jingle Ladies plate. Then I have the Sugar Bubbles plate, SBX017, and I'm going to be using Santa holding his list. This plate from Whaline is WH22, and I pulled this out for the envelope. Maniology M058 for the paper. Maniology M531 for the mailbox and possibly the postage. And then Pretty Fingers by Robin, and this is Merrymakers number 198. So I'm actually going to be using this little girl on the corner here, I think. Well, one of the little girls. So those are the plates I'm going to be using. So I'm going to get myself set up and we're going to get started. So hold on. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Pretty Fingers by Robin plate. And I think I'm going to use this little girl and I'm going to have to shrink her. So I do have my shrinking stamp all set up and ready to go. And I have my SheModern Opaque Black. Let's see, I do not have my plate ready. So let's clean that off. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. One down. Next plate is for the mailbox. So we can mail off our letter. Grab some tape, make it easier. Okay. Now we might need to come back for that for the stamp. I'm not sure. I always need something small for my pinky, but I think that... Okay, so then I want Santa. And I think I might shrink Santa too. First I gotta get the stamper right. All right. Okay. And then on this lantern and Wren plate, I wanted to do Dear Santa, We Should Talk. Or there's Dear Santa, I Can Explain. Well, let's try that one. Well, I like the writing, but I think the top of it I would like to be different. Make it a little bit dressier. So we can keep the writing black, I think. And then maybe I could do the envelope. Let's see how big that is. We can do the envelope, and I'm going to find something to put in the center instead of the heart. Make it look more Christmassy. Alright, hold on. Alright, so I have another shrinking stamper. I think I might try and put the holly on the envelope. So we'll shrink it and see if that helps. let's see, it might still be too big, but all right, so what I'm going to do to make it fit, I'm going to take one of the leaves off. So the holly will just have the 2 leaves and berries, and then we can put that on the envelope. All right, so before we get to reverse stamping, I'm going to do a couple of the snowfalls just for some background behind the little girl and Santa. And this is Baby It's Cold Outside, number 60, from Pretty Fingers by Robin. One more. There we go. this stamp. And I'm going to put a couple of those hollies around my dear Santa. That's what I'm going to do. So if you can't see it, what's the point? All right. Alright, I think I'm finally ready to start putting them on. So I have them all set up. Got my Orly bonder. So we're going to start with the pinky. I have them backwards. Okay. And then learned my lesson last time. Go this way. Here we go. And then we're going to put some snow. And our little girl. It just about fits. Okay. All right, and then Alright, so then we're going to do snow behind Santa. Okay. Alright, so I am going to clean up and then I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back and I have a coat of my SheModern clear stamping sealer, a coat of my sweet and sour lacquer gloss sauce, and then some Victorian varnish lavish hand and cuticle cream. So I think it turned out cute. I thought it would be a little story of my letter, my little girl writing her letter to Santa and mailing it off. And there's Santa reading her letter. So it is Dear Santa Letter Day. And we have done it for the Saturday Stamping Group. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who has already done so. And I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.